I've got a very special guest with me, Kapil Chopra, seasoned hotelier. He was, of course, the president of the Oberoi Group, now a serial entrepreneur, easy diner, as well as India's first luxury hotel chain since the Leela. That was, of course, about 30 years back, and he's already checking in overseas. Hi, Kapil. Thank you so much for talking to us here at ET Now. India's first luxury hotel chain in 30 years. You're the first one to attempt it after the Leela in the 1990s. You're also going overseas, and a very different business model where yours is not asset light. You want to own your hotel properties. Tell us a bit of what we can expect.
So Nayantara, thank you for having me on ET Now. It's a great joy to join us, and especially on this day when we announce 2 international new hotels, 2 different countries actually. So the whole idea was to bring a different narrative to luxury hospitality. You remember last year we opened 3 hotels on a single day in Goa, and now we are opening in the mountain kingdom of Bhutan, Thimphu, a carbon negative country nestled in the hills, a 2-hour flight away from Delhi, and starting rates at 49,000 plus taxes directly into the luxury segment, competing with Aman resorts in Bhutan. And we open in the historic city of Galle in Sri Lanka. So we take you to the mountains and then we take you to the oceans, just 2 hours away from great sightings of the blue whale. So these 2 destinations opening in November, and we're looking forward to having guests experience the postcard way of life.
I have to ask you this question. 49,000 rupees a night in Bhutan, which is of course famous for its temples and Buddhism. It's not supposed to be about materialism.
Well, I think it's not materialistic at all, but if you look at the experience that we have there, Nayantara, I believe it is great value that we'll be delivering. The minimum room size in Bhutan starts at 995 square feet. That's how much apartments.
That's an apartment in South Delhi as well.
Yes, exactly. So it's a different kind of an experience. There's a lot included in that 49,000. So it's just not a particular price. And the postcard promise of check in anytime, check out anytime, have your breakfast anytime. Everything cooked is artisanal. So it's a different world altogether in Bhutan, and every room faces thousands and thousands acres of reserve forest. Really, it's just on the top of a hill. So. And
Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka has of course become a very popular destination for Indians as well. It's considered to be a cheaper or a better alternative sometimes than going to Goa and all of that. What are you expecting from this one?
I think one of the key things that we need to understand is that the postcard is very happy with all the Indian guests, because I really want people in India to travel in India, in South Asia, and maybe the world. But it's also important to actually, in a very different way,
brand positioning for India.
To get brand positioning for India, to get Chinese tourists into India. China is the biggest outbound market in the world, but look at the number of Chinese tourists that come to India. And maybe through Bhutan and Sri Lanka, where the visa restrictions are easier for Chinese tourists, I will be able to introduce them to a new luxury hospitality Indian brand. You see, Leela is an amazing hotel company which started around 25-30 years back, but going international, again, going international is a different game altogether. And within 10 months of our opening, we've actually signaled our intentions of making a global luxury hospitality brand inspired by India. That's the postcard message.
You're looking at 50 hotels in 5 years. Very ambitious. How is this going to happen? Which are countries?
So I think you should not say it's ambitious at all now, considering I opened 3 on day 1 and I've opened 2 international destinations in the same month within 10 months. So I think I'm pretty much on track. So I think anywhere that the world takes us, and anywhere where imagination tells us that it's going to be difficult. Means so many hotel companies are not in Sri Lanka right now. So many hotel companies are not in Bhutan actually, means at this level of luxury. But I want to be in South America. I want to be in France. I want to be in Italy. I want to take people wherever there is experiential transformative travel. I don't think we have any boundaries. We've already broken the shackles of the fact that a company has to go international after 10 years. Means, even in the airline business, you have to fly within India for 5 years before you go international. And here we are, within the first year, launching 2 great destinations, not in the same country.
But why did you decide to go overseas within 1 year? That story also needs, I want to understand, because India, you at one point you're saying you want to make sure we get inbound tourists, and at the same time you're going overseas.
So I think Nayantara, it's more to do with the narrative. Let's just think about it. We are right now sitting in the city of New Delhi, correct? Now, which is the closest hill station to New Delhi? It's not Mussoorie. It's not Nainital, it's not Manali. You can't get to any of these places within 2 hours. Manali you can sometimes as the flight takes off, but the last time I took the flight it was late by 6 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. So imagine taking a flight from New Delhi and landing into the hills of Paro, which is at 7,300 feet. It's the closest hill station. So I also have to look at how travelers will perceive. There is no visa needed. Indians don't need a visa to get into Bhutan. So I think one reason was that Calcutta is just 1 hour away. So again, it's a happy place. It's the happiest country in the world. It fulfills the postcard criteria of a hotel, of a transformative experience. Next to the hotel, I have a 600-year-old monastery where you do a private ceremony for all our guests. It's just something absolutely amazing. It's exhilarating to be staying in Bhutan. And similarly for Sri Lanka, means just let's look at hotels in a very different paradigm. Let's look at hotels. If you're talking about wildlife, you go to Africa. Yeah, you travel all the way to go to Africa. But the biggest animal in the world is the blue whale. And it's just what, you take a flight to Colombo and it's 2 hours away from the historic city of Galle. You see the Galle fort, you go and taste some great tea, you look at some great architecture by Geoffrey Bawa, and then you go and see the blue whale. It's just absolutely amazing. So I thought it was not about international, it is just that we're seeking great experiences. And if I get, means Nayantara, would you like to go to Cuba?
I'd love to go if my boss gives me leave.
Yeah, so my point is, you can go to Cuba, and why won't an Indian luxury hospitality brand aspire to be in Cuba? I think we need to, at the Postcard, the one thing that I'm doing for guests is creating transformative experiential destinations with world-class hospitality and luxury. And the second is building a real luxury hospitality brand inspired by India, but which is going global. You know,
you're about to finish 1 year of the Postcard, and I know you have all these ambitions, which you're saying are actually not ambitious, but rather conservative in nature, because you've already hitting the 5 milestone. How has the first year in business been?
So Nayantara, I think it's been great. So Goa is, planned out as we expected. It's one of the best destinations for hoteliers to open hotel. Great occupancy.
But it's also a very overcrowded market, right? So did you get that A-list clientele that you thought you would get?
Yeah, so I think a lot of that could be seen on Twitter and our public profiles.
I saw Karan Johar was there.
So many more. So you can see a lot
Don't be modest, tell us.
But guest privacy. Okay, so but from our perspective, a lot of people are on the public profile of the Postcard Hotel brand, where people have come and stayed with us. And I believe at that segment of the market, actually Goa was lacking a hotel which was private, luxurious, and yet experiential. So I thought Goa was lacking that complete market because we had positioned Goa incorrectly as a great charter market where charters would flow in and people would party and and the parties would go the whole night. But Goa is a great confluence of design, architecture, cuisine, and a lovely Indo-Portuguese influence. So I thought it was an amazing design destination. In my opinion, Goa is the next Bali. And that's what we're trying to position, and that is why my ambitions in Goa are not to do 3 hotels that I've done, but to do 10 hotels.
10 hotels.
But 10, 20, but I want all of them to be exceptional, and that's the whole idea. So our approach, our take is very different. We are opening in Kabini.
Were you mostly sold out through the year?
No. The summer is pretty good. But you're not never sold out in the summer, really, summer monsoon period of Goa. But the winter is already full on so many days that I can see in Goa. And then we have options for people now. Bhutan opens on 15th November, Galle opens on 30th November, so it's not that I'm announcing and opening a year later, I'm announcing I'm opening now. But again, there are a lot of other interesting destinations opening. Means the only sighting of Black Panther in India is actually in Kabini, the Nagarhole Tiger Reserve. We're opening there.
When are you opening there?
Oh, well, that's going to take some time at least, but yeah, means we have already started work there. We started work on Arabian Sea, Trasi that we spoke about last time. So there's over 9 hotels under construction as I speak to you.
Kapil Chopra, you've always been credited by the Oberoi family also for thinking ahead of the curve, right? That's been a big part of your success. What is the future of travel? You want to disrupt the hospitality sector, but now we also talk and read a lot about stop buying material things, spend your money on travel, spend on experiences.
Yes.
What is the future of the travel industry?
I think the future of the travel industry is experiential travel. Live like a local. Means, if you go to Bhutan, do you want to eat what you eat in Delhi, or do you want to eat Bhutanese food? So I think a lot of travel is about experiential, because experiential travel really, Nayantara, changes you. It transforms you. And I think the future is going to be transformative.
So what's on Postcard's bucket list?
I'd like to do 3 more hotels in Bhutan. I'd like to do 3 more hotels in Sri Lanka. I'd like to do 10 hotels in the Northeast. I would like to have a lovely hotel in every single wildlife reserve. I'd love to convert another 10 palaces in India into great hotels. and position India as a great tourism destination. I'd love to be in Tuscany. I'd love to be in a wine estate in France. I'd love to be in wine estates in India. I'd love to be everywhere that sets you free.
Kapil Chopra, that sounds all very good, but you know, like they say, paisa, paisa, this is also going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
What's the plan on that front?
So I think, I think we've demonstrated that again. Nayantara, means I don't remember the last time any other hotel brand opened in Bhutan at this particular price point that we are opening in. And we are considered to be financially prudent considering our reputation in the business. So from our perspective, we believe that the hotel will do well at that price point. We also believe that there is enough capital globally looking at great hotel assets which are profitable. So, and our Goa experiment very clearly shows that our hotels are profitable. So capital is actually not a constraining factor for us from the way that we look at it.
But, okay, so you believe there's global capital, you're financially prudent, that you're not going to make hasty decisions. I get that. I believe in the entrepreneur in you. But Kapil Chopra, is the Postcard funded? Are you in for fundraising?
Oh yeah, so we are very well funded even from the last round that we had. And we are very well funded even today, because as the hotels start making operating profits, the operating company is very well funded. Where we are raising money in Nayantara is we are raising money in the property company. So we are now raising parallel. We raised earlier also, we are raising again. So because of the model that we have, there is enough capital on call that is available to us as property company where we can deploy. So we can actually, and I can share that we've actually bid for 2 marquee assets in India already. We submitted bids already with our financial partners. So in every single market, we are working with a different financial partner. We are working with enough global capital.
What do you mean by marquee properties?
So 2 great hotels in India are on sale in the transformative resort luxury space, and we've actually submitted bids for those hotels.
Meridian?
I have no idea.
Huh?
We have no idea. As I said, 2 marquee hotel assets. So
assets
are on sale. Yeah. So we are an interesting mix. So we say what whatever we say we do it. So if you really look at Mangalore, Trasi beach, 0 meters from the sea, that's a hotel that we own. If you really look at Goa, we have long-term lease assets. If you look at Sri Lanka, it's a management contract. So we are a company which has been flexible across models of operating, depending upon the fact that where our return on capital employed is the highest.
And you're very clear that you're only going to stay in this luxury experiential segment. You're not interested in going down the pyramid.
Currently I'm not, although it's very tempting with the number of hotels that I'm offered on pretty much a daily basis. So it's extremely tempting to do another brand or to do another vertical. Means every other global luxury hotel operator operates with sometimes 3-4 brands. But real luxury operators actually do not sometimes operate with 2 or 3 brands. So my point is, I'm still thinking about it. But you see, I don't want to do a thing for the heck of doing a thing. Even the Postcard is a very well thought out brand strategy. It's just not I wanted to set up my own luxury hotel company. No, it's a very different hotel. Nobody's done things that we've done at the Postcard. So from our perspective, we want to create a hotel which is, it really needs to appeal to us. The whole idea of creating something else needs to appeal to us. So right now, to answer your question, I'd stay in this segment.
And what about the disruption that we're seeing on the booking side, whether is with the booking.com or even on the aggregation site, whether it is with, let's say, the OYOs of the world and Airbnbs of the world?
So I think, you see, what is aggregation? Aggregation is distribution. Okay, and I think distribution is extremely essential to survival of a business, yeah. But the whole point is, how well do you structure your business? Means I'll give you a real example. Who wants the customer in the hotel as much as I want the customer in the hotel? The banks. But earlier on, no hotel company had actually gone to an American Express, a Citibank, a IndusInd, an Axis Bank and said, can you do something for us for your card members and we'll do something special for you? So in a lot of ways, we are kind of redefining the entire distribution circuit. Not to say that we're not working with Booking.com, and we're very happy to be great partners with Booking.com. But even if you go today, it's Diwali coming into Delhi right now. At the DLF Emporio, the most luxurious mall in India, there is a whole Postcard pop-up just opposite Gucci and Cartier, where we are actually speaking to the consumers directly. So it's a great mix, and I think we love aggregators. We love working with Booking.com, Expedia, Make My Trip, but we also love working with banks, and we also love reaching out to consumers where our consumers go to shop, where our consumers go to eat.
Which is something you've never really seen the hoteliers do. You never did it in your previous avatar.
I did a lot of it also. I don't think so that's the case. But again, you see what happens, Nayantara, is when you launch a new brand, you write a new playbook. So the Postcard has a very different playbook, and a lot of that is my learnings actually at Easy Diner. I learned a lot from Easy Diner. So a lot of that playbook is actually inspired from whatever I learned on consumers, luxury consumers, how luxury consumers want to interact with brands. And a lot of that is getting played out, and you will see a lot of innovation in distribution. So we've done a lot of innovation in product with different kind of hotels. We've done a lot of innovation in service, no check-in, no check-out, anytime breakfast, eat dinner at 3 o'clock in the morning, no buffets, artisanal food, and we're doing a lot of innovation in distribution.
I've got to ask you this as well, because you brought up Easy Diner. You've got Easy Diner, now you've got the Postcard, you're being talked of as a serial entrepreneur. There is no investor that you don't know. Is there a decision that you have taken that you're not going to get them on board right now?
For which brand?
The Postcard.
So the Postcard is structured. The company is structured in a way where we are structured as an operating company, as a property company. The operating company does not require too much capital. While there's a line of investors queuing up to come into the operating company at Postcard, because again, I think opportunity chases opportunity. And the thing is that the Postcard is, in the last 30 years, actually nobody's attempted a luxury hotel brand. Forget about India, but I think globally.
And owning it, everybody wants to be asset light.
And we're doing all three actually. We're asset light, we are asset heavy, we are on long-term lease. So we are kind of a intelligently deploying capital brand. So from our perspective, it's just that we will take capital when we require it. In the property company, we're accepting capital right now. Multiple REITs are being set up. So
are you going to do a REIT?
We already have REITs actually in place. So, but our perspective is that we will buy out and open before anybody can think so.
So let me ask this question on behalf of all of those who are stuck with distressed assets, and I know there are lots of them there. How do they reach out to you?
They're already reaching out. They're already reaching out.
Your mailbox is full.
Yeah. So I think I have. So we have 3 people in our development team, and we are a very young brand. I can tell you that all hotel companies in India, very few of them have 3 people or more than 3 people in development, and these are established hotel companies. And for a young company like me, yes, exactly. So we already have 3 people in development, and those guys are working like 18 hours a day. And why we have to keep on rethinking our strategies, because we want to be very particular about what we onboard, who we work with, what is the asset we take, how do we work with brownfield or greenfield. So there are a lot of things that go into for us to be taking a decision, and there are a lot of, like you rightly said, assets available.
I'm going to end this interview by asking you one question, which is, what takes up more of your time, Easy Diner or Postcard?
So I think both the companies are absolutely amazing. The great part, okay, the great part about Easy Diner, it's already got an established
autopilot,
team. So no, it's not on autopilot. It's got a great CEO. It's got a great management team, and they've been around for a long time. And I think they are really making a big difference to the food and beverage scene in India. So I absolutely love Easy Diner. Postcard, I'm in a more of an executive role because I'm involved. In crafting the strategy. It's still new, but I kind of divide my time equally between both of them, and I absolutely love both the companies and the difference that they're trying to make to the way people live, people eat out, people enjoy. So Nayantara, I always like to say I want to be in happy places. I think with both of them I'm in very happy places.
Can I ask you one cheeky question?
Yes.
Has Vicky Oberoi or Arjun Oberoi or Vikram Oberoi stayed at the Postcard as yet?
I don't think they have, but I remember Arjun and I had a great discussion on the Postcard, and I remember calling Mr. Oberoi when I just launched the brand, and he said he loved the name actually. Yes. So yeah, but I'm sure they will be there one day for sure.
With that, Kapil, all the very best.
Thank you, Nayantara. Thank you for having me here.